I have this speech that I've developed over the years that talks about the very fundamentals of what goes on when you hit ground strokes. And I like to give it because the essence and the purpose of this speech is to give you the information to coach yourselves. So that when I'm not around, when you're out playing tennis with your friends and something's going wrong with your shots, that you right there and then, in real time, can coach yourselves and fix it yourselves. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is the speech. It's a speech about the ground strokes, and the basics for the forehand are exactly the same as they are for the backhand. I'm going to demonstrate it here on the forehand. When you hit a forehand or a backhand, or I hit a forehand or a backhand, or Roger Federer hits a forehand or a backhand, the ball travels just like that shot in 3 directions. Which directions they go in? Yeah, and down. You did. It went forward, up, and down, didn't it? Have a look at it again. There it goes. Like every ground stroke through the history of time in tennis, the ball has gone forward, it's gone up over the net, and it's come down on the court. Every ground stroke has to go forward, up, and down. Agreed? Okay, so what I do is I break the technique up into 3 corresponding departments, with each department responsible for controlling the ball in each one of those 3 directions. And then what we're going to do is put the 3 departments together, and we're going to have a very basic stroke that's going to make the ball go forward, it's going to make the ball go up, and it's going to make the ball come down. Okay? So here it is. The 3 departments are these. Department number 1, the part of your swing, my swing, and Roger Federer's swing that makes the ball go forward is the forward motion of the racket. It's the forward swinging of the racket. When you swing forward and hit the ball along the way, the ball goes forward. See that? Department number 2, that which makes the ball go up. It's not a turned up racket face, even a slightly turned up racket face. We don't do that anymore. We're talking about a topspin and advanced forehand here, so we're going to be meeting the ball with the strings flat or even slightly closed. We'll have an adjusted grip there for that. But this has a downward force on the ball, doesn't it? So it's kind of contradicting what I'm trying to do in terms of getting the ball to go up. This is department number 2. We're thinking about what's going to make the ball go up. What makes the ball go up is getting below the ball and coming up to meet it. This part is department number 2. This is the part of your swing, my swing, and Roger Federer's swing that makes the ball go up. If there's not enough of this in your shot, what happens to it?
It goes in the net.
It goes into the net, exactly where it goes. Right. And there's department number 1 and department number 2. And now we're going to continue on up with the swing, brushing the ball because we're in this racket, this position, the racket is in this position. We're going to slide up the ball, make our follow through, and that's going to impart topspin, which pulls the ball down on the court, which looks after department number 3, the downward motion of the ball. Anything that spins forward like that has a downward pull. Anything that spins, golfers know this, if the ball spins sideways, the ball hooks into or slices into the trees, and if it spins this way, it hooks into the water. And in tennis, we spin the ball forward like that to pull the ball down off the court. So now you are in control of the ball coming down on the court, not just gravity. You're not relying on gravity to drop the ball on the court, you're making the ball come down on the court. So here we are, 3 departments. Department number 1, department number 2, and we brush the ball up, department number 3. That all make sense?
Yeah.
That's your basic stroke right there in its essence and its fundamentals. And in that speech is everything you need to fix any problem you ever have hitting a ground stroke. But there are only 3 mistakes that you can make when you hit a ground stroke. You can hit the ball into the net, you can hit the ball out, or you can hit the ball too short. And while hitting the ball too short is legal, it's still a shot, it's a problem with your technique. If all your shots are landing short, there's an issue and your opponents are going to have no problem coming in. So do we have an issue with that? Again, agreed? Okay, so they're the only 3 mistakes you can make. Can anybody think of any other mistakes you might make when hitting ground strokes? If you want to be real creative.
Well, hitting the ball too early or too late.
That's not going to, what's that going to do? There's 1,000 reasons why you may not do this, or why you may not swing forward, or why you may not put topspin. There's lots of reasons for that. But at the end of the day, hitting the ball late or too early is going to cause one of those 3 things to happen.
So the 3 things are still going to happen whether you hit it early or late. I mean, you still want them to happen.
There'll be a specific reason. I mean, if you hit the ball late, for example, I'll give you an example. If you're hitting the ball late, you're going to take your racket back ready for department number 1, but the ball gets back here. Now you've got no time, and you have to take the racket in a straight line from here to the ball. So what department are you not going to be able to do? The down part, yeah, you're right, the getting down and coming up part.
Yeah.
You don't have the luxury of this anymore. Now you've got to take a straight line to the ball. So if that's happening, what's going to happen to the shot? It's going to go into the net. It doesn't have that upswing, so it's going to go into the net. So that's the mistake, is the ball going into the net. The reason it went into the net is because you didn't get underneath it. The reason you didn't get underneath it is because you were late. You see how I'm working? So I'm just bringing it back to its very essence. The only three results, think about the results of your shot. What happens to the ball? It can go into the net, it can go out, or it can go too short. And right there, so if you're hitting the ball into the net because you're hitting it late, and you hit it late again, the ball goes into the net again, and you hit it late again, the ball goes into the net again, then you coach yourself and you say, I need to get the ball, I need to get under the ball and come up. And then if you make yourself get under the ball and come up, what's going to happen? You're going to be hitting the ball early. You'll make yourself hit the ball early. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is how you're coaching yourself. Good, so we're going to do that right now. We're going to just go in and really work and see that all these three things are in your swing, your existing swing. Is that okay?
Yeah.
One thing before we do, if you're out playing tennis with your friends and all your shots are going out, Bob, what are you going to do about it? Think about the speech.
Put more topspin on.
Bingo! That's exactly what you're going to do. If you're hitting all your shots into the net, what are you going to do, Pam? I'll give you a big dramatic bingo too if you get it right.
Well, I know you have to give you some time to get back and get that.
Think of the speech. Think of the speech. Department number 2.
You gotta get down.
You got to get down. So you're coaching yourself. You see how you're coaching yourself? This is